Hi folks, Mr. Kozer here. Hey, next up in the uniformly accelerated particle motion work is to analyze a movie. I called up NASA and I asked them for a copy of this movie and they sent it to me. Or well, I found it on the web. It's the Hammer and Feather Drop movie. It's the movie where an astronaut on the moon drops both a hammer and a feather at the very same time. You can watch the movie, it's kind of neat. You want to go ahead and download it from Moodle. Once you download it, you'll notice it'll end up in your downloads folder. And then what you need to do is, just like other times, fire up Logger Pro and then insert that movie. So you're going to want to go out and get that movie, the movie that you just downloaded from the web. And I've got it right here, Feather Drop with sound it's called, so you can even listen to it. And what I'd like you to do today is I'd like you to see if you can use this movie to determine the acceleration due to gravity on this planet. That's your challenge. I don't think you want to take data right away in the movie. You probably want to scroll forward in the movie until you find out when something happens that's interesting. But again, if you get to the point in the movie where something interesting happens, then I think you'll be in good shape. In fact, I'd encourage you to get to a nice, steady, wide shot, and then I think you know what to do. You can track that hammer. You'll have to do some work with scaling and decide what to use for a reasonable scale in this movie. You might even be able to figure out who this astronaut is if you do a little bit of searching. But for your end product, I'd like you to end up with a couple of things. I'm going to push Command R, that is auto arrange. And I'd like you to do a couple of things. I'd like you to end up with two different graphs today. Command R again. I'd like you to end up with a position graph for the vertical motion. And I'd like you to end up with a velocity graph for the vertical motion. Once you've done the video analysis, those will both be options. Ultimately, your job is to determine the acceleration of this hammer on the moon. So use the video, scale as you know how, do your best job to come up with some data. It'd be great if you could upload a blog post at the end of the day with your best shot at the acceleration due to gravity from this data and how you figured it out. You could upload those, use the email address ecozer1.pmotion@blogger.com. Once you've had a chance to determine the acceleration due to gravity from this movie, your next job is to make your very own movie of the very same thing. But let's do it on Earth. So once you've had a chance to do that, this first video analysis, then I'd like you to go ahead and insert a video capture like we did with the ramp movies, or create a movie with your phone and upload it, either way. But into this file, I'd like you to make another page. You can go to the page menu and add a page. Make a new blank page, and on this page plop in your new movie, and this movie is to be the same kind of movie, but instead of the hammer being dropped by an astronaut on the moon, it's your turn. I'd like a movie of you or your lab partner dropping a hammer in the lab, or anywhere, so it hits the ground, and then your job is to use that movie and do the very same thing. Analyze the movie, determine the acceleration due to gravity in the lab. That's your challenge.